Hello dear, Vijendra welcomes you. This video contains the explanation of the poem The Leveler written by Robert Graves. After the explanation of all stanzas, I have given you some points for critical appreciation. You find them very useful for writing the answers in the examination. Robert Graves was born in 1895 and he lived till 1985. Young Robert joined the British Army and participated in World War I. He has the first hand experience of the war. When he was severely wounded, he was declared dead by the surgeon in the field. For some times, the family members believed that he was dead. Later on, he recovered and joined the family. This poem is the reflection of his sentiment on war. One humble request, many kind people have subscribed this channel. Now the number is nearing 1 lakh. So please subscribe and support me. It is an important milestone for a YouTuber. Now let me give you the explanation. Near Martin Pitch, that night of a hell, two men were struck by the same shell. Martin Pitch is a place in France near Arras. Two men here means two soldiers were struck by the same shell. A shell looks like this. They are shot from big guns like this. Together tumbling in one heap, senseless and limp like slaughtered sheep. The shell was so strong that it hit both of them to death. They collapsed on the ground, falling one on the other. They lost the senses and fell down. The wounded soldiers looked like slaughtered sheep. One was a pale 18-year-old, blue-eyed and thin and not too bold. One of the two soldiers who were hit was just 18-year-old young man. His pale face suggests that he has been forced to fight, and his blue eyes suggest that he is innocent. Pressed for the war not 10 years too soon. This line indicates clearly that the young man was forced to fight. The poet feels that he is too young to fight. He should have been sent 10 years later. How an 18-year-old adolescent can have proper training to face the enemy in the battlefield? The inability to fight is shown in the face as a pale face. The shame and pity of his platoon. The poet says that it is shame on the platoon to send such young people, inexperienced people, into the battlefield. The other came from far off lands. This line suggests that the other man who was killed along with the young man was a professional soldier, aged and experienced, maybe a mercenary who had been hired by the platoon, with bristling chin and whiskered hands. Bristling chin means the man has short, thick beards. Whiskered hands means rough hands. He had known death and hell before in Mexico and Ecuador. He had known death suggests he had faced near death like situations. A man severely wounded and no one to look after, suffering and tolerating pains, definitely feels that it is hell. The last line of this stanza suggests that he fought war in different countries. Now, there is no doubt that he is a professional and experienced soldier. One shell takes the lives of two soldiers. One very young, innocent, and inexperienced. The other old and experienced, as well as bold. Now, as dead soldiers, they are same. They have lost their identities. They are mere dead bodies for statistics, that is, for counting. Yet, in his death, this cutthroat wild, here, cutthroat wild refers to the professional soldier. The phrase cutthroat wild means ferocious, groaned, mother, mother, like a child. When the soldier is severely wounded and in a near death situation, all his boldness, courage vanishes and he becomes like a child. Groan means something said when you are in pain. While the poor innocent in man's clothes died cursing God with brutal oaths. Innocent in man's clothes refers to the civilians, that is, non soldiers. When they die, they curse God with bad words. They swear. This shows how a man changes when he faces death. A brave professional soldier becomes a child, and innocent, pious people curse God. Old Sergeant Smith, kindest of men. Sergeant is a rank in military hierarchy. Interestingly, I was a sergeant when I was in Air Force, just before I left Air Force in 1999. Sergeant Smith was a very kind man. He is a clerk. His duty is to send funeral messages to the kins. Wrote out two copies and then of his accustomed funeral speech to cheer the women folk of each. So, on receiving the information of the death of these two soldiers, Sergeant Smith wrote two addresses on the envelopes and then he took out two copies of the funeral message and, and put them in each envelope. This action shows a routine job. That means daily some soldiers die and Sergeant Smith sends out funeral messages to the family. Woman folk of each here means the mother of the young soldier and wife of the aged soldier. Now let us see what is that message Sergeant Smith sent. He died a hero's death, and we, his comrades of A Company, deeply regret his death. We shall all deeply miss so true a Paul. Paul means a friend. Such is a soldier's life. एक फौजी का जिंदगी बस इतना ही. Life is नहीं. Here are the key points of analysis. War is a senseless act. War doesn't care for one's life. War brings misery, nothing else. Enemy's bullet doesn't discriminate between an innocent man and a professional soldier. Your life is valuable to you and your family, but not to the soldier fighting on the other side. A soldier becomes a number when he dies. He loses all his identity. There's a meaning when a soldier sacrifices his or her life defending his people, and it becomes meaningless when he or she dies to satisfy the ego of some arrogant dictator. Every soldier doesn't fight with enthusiasm. Some do it because of force or for money. I hope you have understood the poem well. If you want the explanation in Kannada, here is the link. If you are satisfied with the explanation, then please give one like to this video.